Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Wayne Watson and Mark Rolfing with you after day 3 at the Honda Classic PGA National in South Florida. And on this day, par was a pretty good score. The champion course finally showing its teeth, the wind picking up from the more difficult direction across the golf course. And you didn't see any 64s or 63s out there on Saturday. No, Matt Jones with a 69, 1 under par. That is good enough for a 3-shot lead as he gets to 10 under. You see there Aaron Wise, who was the overnight leader, shooting 75. At one point, Wise led by 6 in the 3rd round, and then things started to come unraveled. But Jones able to stay the course in these heavy winds in South Florida. That round of 69, good enough to lead by 3, and afterwards he spoke with Kira K. Dixon.
Here with Matt Jones. Matt, Sam Ryder walked by and said that today felt like 4 rounds of golf. How great was your round compared to how brutal the conditions were today?
It was a very good round. It was a round of trying to make as many pars as possible and try and limit mistakes. You're going to make bogeys out there, and I was lucky enough to make a couple of birdies. So 69 was a good round, and I'm going to have a good sleep tonight.
I really hope you will. And what was working skill set wise specifically?
I'd just say everything was pretty good. I managed my ball flight, controlled my trajectory, and I mean I'm relied on my short game a lot, so I chipped very nicely today and got up and down when I had to, and that was huge for me, and that's something I'm sure I'm going to have to rely on tomorrow.
I know you said you rely on your short game, but you're playing in wind is something that you have a lot of experience with as well. What is your strategy come tomorrow if we have these windy conditions?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the forecast is supposed to be tomorrow. I'll have a look later on tonight, and then I'll go from there. But it's keep the ball low and just hit it in the right spots to give yourself a chance.
Were you looking at scoreboards at all today out there? And what were your thoughts when you first see that 6-shot lead?
I wasn't worried at all. I mean, that's great playing from him. Mm-hmm. I know he's got a lot of tough holes coming down the stretch, mm-hmm. and I know that if I just keep plugging away, I'm not going to win the tournament today, but I wasn't going to lose the tournament today, and that was my goal, and I've given myself a chance tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Matt Jones won in Houston back in 2014. He's also won the Australian Open down under twice in that span, most recently 2019. He said it later. He remembers how to win. It's been recent enough. He's got some good vibes coming in. He hits the ball low, hits a kind of a running hook, very good in the wind. I think you have to like his chances on Sunday.
I do. I like his chances a lot. I love his attitude. I love listening to him. You don't normally associate an aw shucks kind of guy coming from Australia. But he is an aw shucks kind of guy. Think about this. On Thursday, he shot 61, so he ties the course record. And he came in the media center afterwards, and they asked him how many course records he had. He didn't know. He almost made a hole-in-one. They asked him how many hole-in-ones he had. He didn't know that either. They asked him what he had shot on the front 9. He didn't know what he had shot on the front 9. I just love his attitude. So nothing mentally, I think, is going to bother him out there tomorrow. Now, he is paired with J.B. Holmes, who worked his way into that last pairing, and good on J.B. for doing it. J.B. can be a meticulous player. He can be on the slow side. Matt Jones is a much quicker kind of player, but will that bother a guy like Matt Jones? I don't think so, just because of his attitude. He is going to be tough to beat.
Well, Aaron Wise got out to a very quick start on Thursday and Friday, rounds of 64 and 64. That 128 total was the low 36 at this golf tournament since it moved to PGA National. And then Saturday happened. He actually got out to a great start. I mentioned the 6-shot lead after he made birdies at 2 and 4, but then you see a lot of squares after that. Came home in 39, that 75, 5 over at the par 70 layout. He talked about his day.
Yeah, it was a rough day. Started off solid. I think I was 2 under through a few holes, and it just played really, really hard. The forecast was for 10 to 15, and it was a lot more than that. So I honestly felt like I played well. The only thing I didn't do well was manage the wind. You know, sometimes, like certain putts, I felt like all day I had putts that were breaking one way, but the wind was completely the other way, and I couldn't quite figure out how much the wind was affecting them. And then felt like I hit great with my irons and just not so good off the tee. He was playing from out of position a lot, so added up to a big number. But luckily, with how I played those first 2 days, I'm still in it and still have a chance tomorrow.
Yeah, but What does it say about you as a player and where you're at with, you still seem to have a really positive mentality and being able to come out here and answer these questions after a round like today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to have that kind of mentality if you're going to be a golfer. So you're going to have tough days, you're going to have hard times, but at the end of the day, you just got to look at the bright side, and I still have one more round to go out there and get done what I came here to do. So.
And based on what you saw in your game today, I know you said that you felt like you played well. Is there anything in particular that you're going to be focusing on as you go into the final round tomorrow?
No, I mean, I don't know exactly what the forecast is for tomorrow, but if it's anything like today, at least I have all the experience that I gained on some of those putts and some of those shots to lean back on tomorrow. So overall, I didn't feel like I did anything that bad. It's more just coming out, being maybe a little bit more focused, and then using what I got from experience to my advantage tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
You know, Mark, when things start to unravel for these players, you usually see it in one of two places, on the tee or on the green. And we saw a little bit of that in both spots from Wise on day 3. Some errant tee shots and some putts that were a little bit wishful. What do you think he should focus more on heading into Sunday?
I think it kind of came unraveled between his two ears, to be honest with you. He really, the first hour of his round was really good. He was 200 par after 4 holes, and it was really after the tee shot at number 6 that things started going awry. He hit a bad tee shot at 6, but he could have recovered, made a bogey, and gotten out of there. He didn't. He made double. Then he started driving it all over South Florida, basically. And along with that, he started playing slower. And not making decisions as quickly. You could tell he was looking a little bit nervous. Putts weren't going in, hitting bad drives, and then he got put on the clock by the PGA Tour officials. That cannot have helped the situation at all. Worked his way around to the bear trap, put it in the left bunker there, which was not a good spot. But then he hit sort of a nervous-looking shot to me, hit it pretty fat, and came up about 20 feet short out of the bunker. And then, of course, a really bad tee shot at 18. It's going to be tough for him to recover. I mean, he had basically a 9-shot swing there. Had a 6-stroke lead, and now he's 3 behind. Doesn't have any momentum going into tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be tougher for him than it will be for the guys that had momentum from today. Having said that, Aaron Wise is a really talented player, and he could go lower tomorrow.
They don't just hand out 64s at that golf course, PGA National. He's got 2 of them this week. Here's the final pairing on Sunday at the Honda Classic, 49th playing of this PGA Tour stop in South Florida. Matt Jones, round of 69 to get here. J.B. Holmes kind of snuck into this movie with a round of 67, and he will be paired up with Jones. Holmes, a very deliberate player. Jones, a very quick player as they look ahead to their final round. Haven't talked much about J.B. this week because he really was just sort of going about his business quietly, but he's got experience winning on the PGA Tour, and he's put himself in position here.
Yeah, he's a very streaky kind of player, wonderfully talented player. Sort of a legend in Kentucky where he made his varsity high school golf team when he was 10 years old. And it's been like that his entire career. His decision-making is a little bit slower. We saw him trying to figure out the wind on the 18th hole, which took quite a while. Is that going to affect Matt Jones tomorrow? I don't think so.
It certainly seems like Jones is affable enough to overcome just about any challenge. 40-year-old Aussie who, again, has won his national championship twice and has won on the PGA Tour once before, playing in the final group with J.B. Holmes, a multiple winner on the PGA Tour. They will have to navigate the bear trap and the rest of the field on Sunday, the final round of the Honda Classic.